All right. So there you have it, all sealed up. It moves, I would say, the intake up another 6 inches, but two downsides over snorkel, I would say, would be it's another evening after work, and we're getting ready for 24 Hours of Appalachia. And if you're wondering what that is a charity event that supports small towns and communities all across Appalachia. The one we're participating in is in southern Ohio. It's in the beginning of May. So the event coordinators, which I think are Backroads of Appalachia, 24 Hours of Appalachia, and I think involves some of the Gambler 500 people, they got together, they laid out a route. It's 500 to 600 miles. We don't have the official route yet. And myself and my cousin, who will be my co-driver, will be driving and co-navigating that route in under 24 hours. There's checkpoints. It's not a race. This is a rally navigational thing. But there's some pretty big names that are getting into it. Some of the Ultra 4 guys. I think Miller, the Chaos Off-Road Park guys. So it's drawing a lot of attention. I think it's for a good cause. And we're going to be donating some money. So this Jeep XJ is not ready to go yet. We built this thing about a year ago, and over the course of that time, I've been daily driving it, get bugs worked out of it, but there's still some final things we need to figure out. And from watching videos of the other 24-hour challenges in West Virginia and Kentucky, it seems like the event coordinator doesn't mind going through water, and we still have the stock intake. So I hate the way snorkel intakes look on XJs, and I'm planning on doing an exo-cage at some point, more than likely. So those two things are going to conflict, and then I'm cutting a hole through the side of my fender anyway. So I saw an idea on YouTube and I'm going to give it a try with my own modifications. This is the lower section of the airbox. It sits in the vehicle like this. Normally air comes in from this 2.5 by 3 inch hole. That hole is right behind the headlight. So if you get into water and it pushes up in front of the headlight, you are ingesting water at that point. So what I saw some guys do is they will get some of these flanges. These are from Spectra 3-inch flanges. I got mine off of Amazon. I think a lot of people get them off of, Local Advanced Auto, that kind of thing. So we will be mounting this flange on the side, something like that, and sealing it. We'll block off this. Then this flexible intake tube this is also off of Amazon. This is brake cooling duct hose, so it's got the wire so it doesn't collapse. Really nice, smooth inside. I've seen some people use the Spectra flexible intake stuff. I think that would work well. I think this should have less flow restriction. And one thing I will note, I think the cross-sectional area of this is not quite the same as what this is. So I would be expecting some real high RPM horsepower losses from this, but that should be expected more than likely with any sort of snorkel cowl intake. Anytime you're adding tube length and bends and different filters, I'm sort of the opinion that most of the time factory intake boxes are pretty well designed and the filter elements are pretty well designed. So at least for this Jeep, I'm not worried about it. For your application, it might be different. So let's go ahead and see if we can figure out how to drill a hole in this. So let's get to it. I thought we were recording, don't know if I got it or not, but 3-inch hole saw through there. Just in case I lost it, I gotta decide if I want this flange to fit on the outside and then bolt through, or if I want to trim it so that way it can fit in from the back. So to get this to work, I'm gonna trace this onto a piece of cardboard and then trim the cardboard until it fits where I want it. So now I have that template. All I need to do is transfer my lines to here and then trim accordingly. Sanding this works well. It smells terrible. Wear a mask or something. So there you go. That fits awesome. So for final assembly, I'll be putting some RTV, or I'll put some silicone in behind here, but Honestly, you gotta remember, these air boxes have water holes in them. So there's a hole there, there's a hole there. I think that is for when, you know, when a small amount of water gets in here and has somewhere to drain out. All right, so here's starting to get an idea. The airbox back in, flange temporarily in. We've got the 3-inch intake brake cooling duct clamped on there. It's going to snake around the master cylinder, and then there's going to be a hole hopefully right there. Sweet. That was scary, but not as bad as I was thinking. Not even anything in there. Grab my magnet. There you have it. So we'll need to figure out a way to block that off, but got some Kydex stuff left over from another project. We're going to figure out how to make this fit down in there. And let's see, this in theory is under vacuum. It would be better on the outside. Really shouldn't be under much vacuum, so I think I am going to put it on the inside. Let's see how it goes. Alright, so I think I'm going to use some high temperature silicone sealant, and we're going to pull the airbox out one more time so I can get the rivets to go through. I did some test pieces with some Kydex for the block off. I think it should work okay. So, piece of Kydex, 3 inches at the bottom, a little wider at the top. That's going to fit right in there like that. We will be siliconing it and riveting it where we can on the outside and the bottom. And definitely a lot of water won't be getting in there. So these are all just aluminum pop rivets. I'm using the pop rivets coming in from the back side. Everything is below where the filter's going to sit, so not too worried. So you can see here, on the inside, pop rivets are sticking out, Kydex. On the outside, everything's relatively clean. Clean for an XK. Thin bead all the way around there. So we got thin bead all the way around that. And with any luck, we will be installing this back in, which is super tight. So, see there, not really relying on a whole bunch of RTV to seal it up. Fits are tight enough, that'd probably handle it. Using daylight here. Alright, so there you have it. Back in. I think if I had to go with any downsides of this, you know, I think there is some concern on how high this sits. I think I'm pretty confident it's going to push down. You know, it is potentially a little bit more restrictive. I don't think you would get much more than a 3-inch tube in this general area. I may end up trying to shorten this a little bit, but it's doing a good job. If this cracks, obviously then you have the same issues. It's still going to be filtered air because the filter's, you know, after this, but potentially with water intrusion. So let's get this back together and fire it up and see if it sounds any different. Did this entire process in 2 hours after work one night, so if everything goes well, probably be driving this again. Closes up fine. I didn't take any of these grates out. I think that's should be more than enough surface area. Here's the part where we find out if there's a squirrel nest in the cow. Yeah, doesn't really sound any different. Feel a little bit of air. One thought I had, snow buildup. In winter climates, this could be a bit of an issue. So I could see that in the winter months, if well, it'd be the case with any cow intake, but in the winter months, I could see that being a problem. Yeah, so feel a little bit of a suction, but seems like it's running okay. And in theory, that is a true cold air intake. All right. So there you have it, all sealed up. It moves, I would say, the intake up another 6 inches, but puts it in an area where you can really see it. I'm gonna run inside, help the kids with some homework. Remember, like, subscribe, really helps me out a ton. And remember, we got this 24 Hours of Appalachia event coming up. Be awesome if you guys could follow along. It's for a good cause, does a great thing for small town Appalachia. And I think we're raising money for a scholarship fund. So I'll see you for the next update, maybe even in less than a week.